Okay, so what we're going to learn how to do today is export models from Fusion 360, put them into PrusaSlicer, how to slice them, and how to get them ready for printing, which will probably be next week's episode. Let's start off in Fusion. So what we're going to want to do first, we're going to want to find your assembly, whatever you want to export. There's a couple different ways to export. If you want to export everything that you have, so you've modeled maybe 4 parts inside one file, up here on the top little browser document thingy here, you're going to want to right click on that top one. You're going to want to do save as mesh, export, make sure it's in STL. Binary makes a smaller file size, but ASCII works well as well, but I'd recommend binary. You're going to want to click OK. You're going to name it, and you're going to want to put it in the folder that you want to put it in. Robotics 2026 is my folder of choice. Now, if you just want to export one thing, so you have imported a bunch of stuff and you only want to export this one piece, either make sure you have just body selection selected, which is over here, or you can find it in your menu here under bodies. You can right click on just the one you want to export. Again, save as mesh, select STL binary, make sure it's in the unit that you modeled it in, and click OK. So I'm going to export this as like test print 1 or something. I'm going to put it in my robotics folder, save it, and it'll go in there. Now, once we get over to PrusaSlicer, there's a couple different ways to import things. One, you can drag and drop from your file folder, put it in there. Or you can also click the add part button in Robotics 2026. I'm going to grab that piece that I just named. Now it's in here. Now to orient it correctly, because it might not be modeled in the way you want to print it, there's a couple ways. One, you can click the rotate tool and rotate it and snap it if you want to do it at some specific angle. Or there's another super duper handy tool, and it is called lay flat or place on face. You can click the button over here, or as I like to do, press the F keybind, and it will let you click any of these white pads and it will place it on that face for you. So in case you have any weird angles that might be hard to rotate to, you can press F and it will lay flat on that face. Now once you've got it positioned in the bed where you want it, you can also press D to center it, or arrange everything if you have multiple. If you have multiple, you can press D, it'll put them together. Now you want to select the printer that you have. So at the school it's going to be the Prusa i3 Mark III S Plus. There's a bunch of different ones. You might not have all these enabled, but I have that one. And for filament, you're either going to use PLA or PETG. Most of the plastic we use is PLA. It's pretty good for most stuff. If you need something super strong, I'd recommend PETG. If you need something crazy strong, I can print it out of carbon fiber, but we don't have that technology at the school. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is select your settings. So usually you're going to want to use 0.2 millimeters. It works the best for most things. It's pretty strong. It works great. If you want it to look pretty, I'd go 0.15. 0.3 is stupid, and 0.1 and all these other ones are also stupid. So going to stay with 0.2 for most things. I'm going to click 0.2 millimeter speed because, make it print fast. But, yeah, we'll go 0.2 millimeter speed. Now, under print settings, there's only a couple things I'd recommend changing. If you want it to be strong, under layers and perimeters, I'd bump up the perimeters to 3, maybe 4. This has a gear on it and some pulley teeth. So I'm going to do 4 just to make the walls a little bit thicker. That's what perimeters does. And the other thing I'd change is under infill. I'd bump this up to around 40 or 50%. Don't go higher than 80. When it gets to around 90 or 100% infill, when it's printing, the plastic can sometimes overlap itself and cause the printer to clog or jam or mess up in some way. So if you need something absolutely ridiculous, only go as high as 80. These two, I don't think I've ever used. But 40% for most things that are going to be stupid strong, and if it's just a cosmetic piece or it's just a bracket for something small, as low as 20 or 15 is also perfectly fine. Infill pattern, every time switch it to gyroid. It's the only good one. I don't know why all these other ones are here other than to be cool, but gyroid is the one to go for absolutely everything. I don't question it ever because it works perfect. It does take a couple more minutes to print, but everything else is a pro, so it's worth it. Now, once you have your settings set and your filament set and your printer set, which you only have one of, you're going to want to click slice. Now, a couple things you want to make sure of is if you look at it from underneath, which I'm just using left click to orbit here, and I'm using right click to pan in case you're curious, but all these blue areas are where there is overhangs. So a couple things. One, if they're at an angle like this and they're shallow, sometimes it's okay. The printer can handle up to about 50, 60 degree overhangs. These ones are about 70, so maybe a little much. And same with up here. It looks like there's overhangs, but in reality, if we scroll to them, you can just use the scroll wheel here. It's actually bridging. So it's going to bridge a gap between something that is supported and something that's not supported. And that's okay. As long as that's no more than like a centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters, that'll be perfectly fine. This next line is actually an overhang, so that might not turn out so well, but we're going to find out. If you do need that, just turn on supports. You can do support on build plate only, and it will fill in the things that it needs to fill in. If you need supports everywhere, obviously, select support everywhere, and it will support, well, everywhere. This is a waste of plastic sometimes, and if your print doesn't really need those details to be perfect, then we don't need it. It'll save on plastic, it'll save on time, it'll make it look better sometimes, and so we don't have support material to remove. Once you have your part sliced, you're going to want to click Export G-Code. You can either select your USB stick here manually or SD card or whatever you're exporting into, or you can click this little button here if it's already in the laptop or computer, and this will automatically select any USB stick or SD card that you have plugged in, so you don't have to find it in your File Explorer. That's pretty much it. That's how to take a model from Fusion, export it either individually or all together with everything you have, how to put it into Fusion, or PrusaSlicer, how to select the plastic you have, how to select the printer you have, how to select the speed or quality that you want. Again, I'd recommend 0.2 speed or quality for everything you need. If you need it to be strong, maybe do 0.2 millimeter quality, might be a better idea. And then how to make it a little bit stronger just by changing the infill pattern to gyroid, fill density to around 40 or 50, and layers and perimeters to around 3 or 4, even up to 5 or 6, maybe 7 if you need to, if it's something super important. All these other things wouldn't mess with too much. If you need more settings on your support material instead of right here, you can find them in support material. You can turn it on, you can change settings, distances, densities, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to slice this and we'll send it off to the printer, which will be in next week's lesson.